This is the special D23 episode. Tons of announcements coming out of California yesterday, really late at night. With me tonight to talk about these sort of things, I've got half of the nation of Canada. Jen.
Good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I've got Mini Cheese himself, my son, Andrew Uglenski from New York.
Hello.
Hello. And Ian, formerly of Philadelphia, now residing in somewhere outside
sunny
of
Florida.
Yeah.
Ian, undisclosed location near
a bunker. Undisclosed bunker
exactly
outside of Walt Disney World. And from the Disney Nerds podcast and Disney Nerds period, it's Disney Nerd Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy Horn. Hey, how are you?
What is happening? Happy to be here.
You're happening, I think. That's why we have you here, buddy. So we've got tons of stuff to go over tonight. I actually have notes. I usually don't do this show with notes, but I felt like if I didn't have some notes, we would miss something. The Intercot Insider podcast last night was kind of on our private text messaging stream on Facebook Messenger. And we were exchanging messages back and forth, trying to figure out how we were going to cover things. I'm sitting at home with Jimmy mocked me and a couple of people mocked me with 10 screens open all around me.
One more.
Yeah,
you needed one more.
One more screen.
Blood screen.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right now sitting near me. Along with a couple screens and a production board. But the bottom line is we're trying to figure out how to stay on top of things. One, because we have a brand new website at intercot.com that we launched literally a few weeks ago. Right around the time of the last podcast, we launched it, put it live. It's been under construction for the better part of a year. Carolyn, the other half of the nation of Canada, helped us get it across the finish line, which was awesome. And so now it is there. It is actually going to be a source of information. It's easy to update. And we put it to the test last night, which is, we were firing out articles right and left with pictures and information and sharing them to social. And it worked really well. And by the way, our discussion boards are now live too, which is the legendary part of the internet community of tomorrow. That's the community part. If you were a member back in the heyday, we've had boards since almost 1997 when we launched. And there are a lot of friendly folks there. Jimmy was a member. Of course, all the podcast members were a member. Andrew was a member. And if you head on over there, your username you used is still there. We ported all that information over. All you got to do is reset your password and you're posting away. Anyway, that's out of the way. And last night we were just kind of sitting by doing our chat, trying to figure out where we were going to see this thing, first of all. Okay, because Disney made the weird choice not to stream this year.
But you can find anything on YouTube.
Which is essentially what we found, that, there was a stream somebody had put up, actually a couple different somebodies.
You could get different angles. When
yeah,
one would buffer, you would switch to the other, back and forth.
It was kind of a riot last night. I don't know why they did that. First of all, let's get that out of the way. If the idea is to get the information out, and clearly they were posting to social media as the announcements were made and things like that, what is the harm of literally throwing a fixed camera or something down the end and just streaming?
I've seen a couple people post it, and it's definitely a missed Disney Plus opportunity.
Yeah, that too. I said that.
Yeah, they can't make any money on Disney Plus, but then they don't do something obvious like stream the expo. I don't know if it's not like they can. They sell out without, you know what I mean? It's not like it's like an NFL thing where they want to make sure everybody goes to the event. They sell out.
Yeah, it's
every
not
year without problem.
Right.
Yeah.
So why not? But the point being, if you wanted to do it, they've done production stuff for other things in the past. Why not just throw it on Disney Plus? Sure. I mean, all the Disney people who love Disney would be tuning in for all the announcements. What a missed opportunity.
They've done things on YouTube in the past. I remember when they did the it was like the last showing of Illuminations. They live broadcasted it on YouTube.
Yeah, that's right. They did do that. Yeah. Which is, like, I mean, it was an iconic show, but it's not as big as what they did last night.
Yeah, no, not as much.
So maybe they were embarrassed with all the musical numbers, so they didn't want anybody to really see it.
Well, so yeah, there was a lot of behind the scenes banter going on in the podcast. Among that, it's like, can we get to this?
It felt a little dragged out, in my opinion. a lot of music.
I know. Yeah, I just didn't quite get it. They started late and then they ran long. And I mean, by the time we were done, it was 1 a.m. East Coast time. I mean, so
yeah, I looked at my messages when I woke up and I was like, wow, those guys really went late last night.
I mean, it did. It went on for a really long time. So anyway,
good for you for hanging in there for the people, John.
John
is a man of his people.
Well, it was
take one for the team.
Me, Jen, and COVID Justin, I think. Was hanging out online, cracking jokes, making fun of stuff that was going on. It was great. It actually was fun hanging out with y'all. Maybe at some point we'll figure out how to do a chat room on the next one next year for everybody. Or we'll do one of these things live and we'll just comment away. It'd be great. But so my comments were just that it started out a little bit slow. And we were like, oh boy, what the heck?
I don't think they made an announcement until 8:40.
It was late.
Yeah.
Or 10, I don't know. It was 40 minutes in until we got to the first announcement. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would have been, about that time. And yeah, we were surprised. We were like, okay, well, are they going to, in fact, at one point was wondering, are they going to announce anything? Anything
you were hitting the full on skeptic button there for a little bit.
I did.
I saw that. You're like, maybe they don't have anything to announce.
I know. You kind of get irritated because you're up really late to begin with, to do this. And I'm sitting there and I'm so prepared. I'm like, can we get on with it?
They spent an hour talking about Fortnite.
Which I didn't get. Why did they jump on bandwagons so late?
Yeah,
Fortnite. No one's played Fortnite
nobody plays that anymore.
Yeah,
5 years.
Off. Yeah,
and and the people who do play it, and I'm not joking, they're 12, so they have no buying power, and there was
a rumor
talking about that.
Yeah, there was a rumor the other day that you were going to be able to watch it by logging into Fortnite, and then that quickly got squashed. But in between, I'm downloading, gigs of data, trying to grab this game and figure out how to.
You're trying to play.
John was going to be a Fortnite player.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
going to be yelling at 12-year-olds.
So. Anyway, now I've got to uninstall it. So anyway, yeah, that was kind of annoying. So, all right, pulling the crew here. The whole night, where should we start? What is the most important or fascinating or surprising announcement that was made out of everything? What do you think?
Villains Land.
Yeah, I think we all agree.
I would say anticipation-wise, Villains Land. People have been calling for that for quite a long time.
Okay. So, I mean, it seemed like it was a night where I saw somebody say this, and I think it was a great way of putting it, where the kids that grew up on the discussion boards
were in charge of Imagineering.
Suddenly in charge of Imagineering.
I know. I thought the same exact thing, because all these things were rumors that we kicked around when we were, we first started those boards, literally 27
years ago.
The Doors
kids,
coaster from Monsters Inc. and
that read Figment's updates and his news and rumors, and when we used to post that, and then Screamscape used to have all the rumors.
Oh yeah, Screamscape.
There on a regular regular basis to see
Forgot about them.
Yeah, so it was like suddenly all these things that we'd been hearing about a long time made an appearance last night, and among them was this one, which is the actual Villains Land. This has been rumored since, I mean, seriously, how many years has this been?
It's been 20. It's got to be close to 25 years. I mean, I would say that it first started popping up in the very late 90s, early 2000s, probably.
Yeah. I mean, it's been out there forever. And I mean, Night on Bald Mountain, I mean, which is interesting. We're staring a little bit. If you're watching the video stream, the concept art here, what's going on back there in the back?
It's a little derivative of Harry Potter land there with their
I know.
Dragon. That looks like a coaster, right?
Yeah.
Does that not look like a coaster?
Does look like a coaster.
That kind of looks like a coaster up there.
So clearly this is because Universal has their own little monsters, classic monsters land. So this is their way of competing with it. Am I wrong?
I mean,
yeah, I see it as competition, definitely.
But
they're trying to compete.
But it's a good thing, right?
This is what we were all hoping would happen with Universal, right? Like we wanted Disney to wake up.
Yeah.
They're a little late to the game.
Yeah.
But especially given how long it takes them to build things, like when will we see any of this? Is because
where do you think it will be?
Well, we know kind of where it's going to be. That we actually know.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
This will be right. So where's Haunted Mansion on here, John?
Look at
Find
this.
me
I'm
Haunted
actually
Mansion.
prepared. How about that? Okay, it's right. Haunted Mansion is this big building.
Okay.
Right
so
here.
all this land sort of, if you draw a line straight up from kind of the rivers of America right there, like the Villains Land will be on the right over here, and the Cars Land will be on the left.
Yeah. So if you're listening, okay, so if you know where maybe Tom Sawyer's Island is, if you know where Big Thunder Mountain is, and you know where Haunted Mansion is, those are kind of lined up, right? You've got essentially Big Thunder. Then across from that, Tom Sawyer's Island. Then across from that is Haunted Mansion. There's a ton.
Yeah. It's a lot of land
of space back there, which it's kind of surprising when you look at actually backstage at the Magic Kingdom. There really is, if they wanted to, there's a lot of area that they could expand into.
Sure. I mean, I drive back here like pretty much every day. Because my house, if you kept going up from on this map and a little bit over to the right, you would see my house. So this that Reams Road there is the road. So we drive through here all the time, and it's just all like this is all woods. Like when you drive by there, you can't even really see much of the park from Floridian on the left here. It's pretty well hidden. I mean, Cinderella Castle sticks up a little bit, but other than that, it's all kind of woodsy there. So it'll be interesting because I mean it looks like it's going to end up going, you would think it would go out right up against the road there, right? So, I mean, it's going to be pretty far out.
I mean, it potentially could. And not to mention that you could go over roads even too and you wouldn't even know it.
Well, yeah, this road here, can you zoom in a little bit? Which one is that?
Floridian.
Okay, that's Floridian Way. That's a pretty main road. So they're not going to do away. They could reroute it though. I mean, they could very easily reroute it. Over to the left here.
Floridian Place.
Yeah.
Who knows? But again, the point is, if you look and you're looking at essentially Big Thunder Mountain, the talk is essentially it's going to extend out somewhere, and you could see how that could be done out. And, they're going to have to create some bridges or something like that. Or there's some rumors, that this...
Get rid of that.
Yeah, I mean, how much credence do you put in any of that? Do you see them getting rid of like?
Somebody pointed out there's rivers in the concept art.
Is there?
I mean, I wouldn't. Let me be clear. I will not be shocked if the riverboat goes away because you can't really have a riverboat sailing through, Cars Land and the Villains Land, but the river will probably stay.
Or would they do what Disneyland had done? Is basically just shorten the track for the steamboat, like
see what I would do if I was them
through
was
the
I would
island and then fill in back here.
I would create some kind of 3D projection stuff that, like, when the boat sailed through Cars Land, it looked like a boat that would fit in right in the Cars movie, and then when it got to Villain's World, it would be all like decrepit and broken down.
Evil
looking.
ship, yeah.
Right.
Like a death ship. That would be cool. Like, think Disney. There you go, Intercot Imagineering, John. They should
there you go. Intercot Consulting.
Speaking of Intercot Consulting, I'd like to point out that this is exactly what I told you like 3 or 4 months ago was going to happen in Magic Kingdom.
No, I mean,
you're onto something.
I think there was some general thought that the way things were going, that there was going to be development and they were going to expand the Magic Kingdom. And it is kind of the most crowded park. And if you can kind of add some more capacity, add some more lands to that, then you're going to be in good shape. So I guess, did they even give any details as far as rides or anything? I don't think they did they?
No, just head count. I mean, 4 rides is basically what they said.
4 rides?
Well, they said 2 rides.
2 in Cars Land and 2 in Villains Land.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if you want to use the previous, if you want to use the previous expansions as a guide, you can probably expect something along the lines of Rise of the Resistance and then something along the lines of Smuggler's Run, right? Like a strong e-ticket and then, I don't know, C, D, whatever, B, whatever you want to.
Yeah, same with Pandora. You had Flight of Passage.
Pandora, right? Yeah,
and Navi River.
Mm-hmm.
The press release says the space will be home to 2 major attractions, dining and shopping on an incredibly twisted grand scale. Be prepared, you poor, unfortunate souls. It's going to be a fearless new vision for what a Disney experience can be.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I think it means, like, it'll be dark. You know what I mean? Like, everything they do is like happy, like this will be Villains themed. It'll be creepy and broken down looking and, a little scary. So I think it's kind of cool. I mean, I just hope, like, it's like fingers crossed though, right? Like,
yeah, there's no like release or set date.
Not 2030.
And there's not even any detail. Like, you don't. I mean, for Villains Land especially, it's like there will be 2 attractions. I mean, theoretically, it could be a
meet and greet,
a scary dragon spinning ride, and like
it could be a flat ride
and a meet and greet
and a roller coaster.
What were you saying, Jimmy?
I think in the initial, like, the kickoff to D23, they said everything that would be announced is slated to be done in 5 years.
Is it?
Yeah.
That was my understanding. That's all shovels to the ground.
They kept saying that. Yes.
This is not blue sky. This is like, they're starting on it. So
yeah. Well, I mean, they kind of have to.
Well, they're behind the 8 ball right now. I mean, they really are.
Well, yeah, especially if you saw their most recent quarterly earnings for the theme park revenue was rough.
Yeah,
now,
we didn't even mention that. Yeah.
In fairness, it's summertime, and recently summer has been Amanda says they were referred to as attractions, not rides. I wouldn't read too much into that. They tend to refer to everything as an attraction, rides and otherwise. So that probably doesn't mean a whole lot. Yeah, it's an interesting concept art for this Cars Land thing, though, because it does not look like it's Radiator Springs Racers to me.
Well, they said it is not going to be that specifically. They said this. Andrew and I were talking about this earlier, like we sometimes do. Actually, arguing was what we kind of do. As
they're gonna relocate and retheme Tomorrowland, the Speedway.
Yes, yeah,
that's it. That's
gonna pick it up and move it over.
Yeah, that's correct.
No, I mean, so with the kind of phasing out of the current idea of Frontierland, and they're kind of putting it into the sort of, it's almost like the Western type Americas.
So they're retheming Frontierland. Like, is it not going to be like old Frontier kind of? Because if you're adding cars into modern technology, the old school Frontier, then you're kind of taking apart the old theme, the original idea of Frontierland.
I know, Andrew. You'll go through an arch and there'll be flashing lights, which will signify you're going back in time or forward in time.
Yeah.
So,
well, I just wonder, are they going to retheme Frontierland to match?
well, we were actually wondering.
I mean, they got, Tiana's Bayou Adventure there now, so.
Yeah, they got rid of the shooting range.
Despite what Tomorrow said, does not belong in the American frontier. But
yeah. Wait a minute,
hold on. Jimmy. Did you know that you were in the frontier?
By the way, Tiana's Bayou Adventure looks nothing like anything you would see here.
Jimmy, by the way,
that is true. I made that reference. I'm like, I don't remember a lot of mountains in Louisiana. None. I don't know. Call me crazy. Yeah. I don't remember seeing it.
Where are you at, Jimmy? For people who aren't familiar.
I'm south of New Orleans. So.
South of New Orleans?
Yeah, I'm probably I'm close. I live in a suburb. I live in a suburb of New Orleans, a little further south.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, bottom line is we were trying to figure out what the transition would be. Like if you're going by Tiana, you're going through kind of where the country bears are, and then you're heading out past Big Thunder Mountain, which is kind of mining and old timey, and
but also likely to undergo pretty significant work in the next couple of months here, right? It's supposed to go down for refurb.
Do you think they're going to change theming on that a little bit too?
I mean, I won't be surprised, if they do something to work it a little more tightly in with the Cars Land. Whether it's just visual, I don't, you know what I mean? Would they actually totally retheme it? I don't know, but
is Cars Land going to be in Frontierland, or is it just going to be its
own land?
I mean, I think it's its own land, right? Yeah. But the one thing I had speculated on was, does Frontierland maybe go away?
Frontier kind of is what we're talking about. Basically, the out west and things
beyond, west of the Mississippi, right?
Right. So yeah, I mean the concept art's interesting. So it looks more like almost like a dune buggy race.
Yeah, I was like,
well, you know what it looks like to me? I started wondering if it's trackless.
Yeah, it might be trackless.
Huh?
It almost looks trackless to me.
Yeah, so it looks like it does off-roading.
The press release says. It says one attraction will invite you on a thrilling rally race through the mountains. Take on wild terrain as you race across the landscape, climbing mountain trails, dodging geysers, and Mater's favorite, splashing through mud holes. So I guess
I'm interested to see how they have me splashing through a mud hole. That's just a very interesting idea.
But those cars kind of look like Jeeps.
They look like Jeeps. Yeah,
like
4x4 kind of.
Almost like dune buggies.
Yeah, dune. Almost. Yeah, exactly. Just off-road type vehicles or whatever. They've bought.
If you think about it, that's how you'd have to do it, kind of, if you wanted them to be autonomous and going over rough terrain.
Does it not look like the same ride as California though? Just slap up some pine trees instead of cactuses or something.
No, you think they're going to use the same track layout and all that kind of stuff?
I don't know. It looks pretty different to me.
No, I don't know.
I don't know. In fairness, I've only been on Radiator Springs racers twice, so I'm not the foremost expert on Radiator Springs racers.
It looks like it's all going to be outdoors. There's no going to be dark ride scenes from the concept art, but
I mean,
so then whenever it rains, which it doesn't ever rain in Florida, I guess this ride won't be working.
But you could.
I mean, in fairness, it probably won't be working very often anyway. So
I mean, just to the point. I mean, at least the show building is indoors, but there, and then the question is maybe you could go through some caves or something like that.
Well, that's how Radiator Springs Racers is all outdoors, right? I don't remember that going inside anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, it goes inside for a little bit.
Yeah, where
just the beginning, you're boarding.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that's only. I would guess this one will board inside too.
And but it does have the part where
Luigi shop
and the tractor hits and kind of
the cow tipping.
The dark ride section.
Yeah, which I like. I like the combination of the two. So. Anyway, so there's that, and what was the other one, Jen? Was there was something else there?
That they're also going to build a second attraction geared towards little ones, and will be fun for the whole family, but it doesn't say.
But no concept art there, and
that will likely be the more
like a tomato spin or whatever.
I mean,
yeah,
maybe not that exactly, but I would imagine it'll be along the lines of like the one they have in Toy Story Land.
Yeah, like the alien saucer.
The alien saucer ride and all that stuff.
Yeah, they have like a tomato flat ride in Paris. That was kind of interesting. Yeah. So I feel like that could be in there.
Yeah, Andrew just went to Paris.
Nice.
And Tokyo in the same year, right?
Yeah.
Rough life.
It's good to be young. Have no kids.
Exactly. So why don't we kind of stay in the same park at least? So what else we got going on in the Magic Kingdom? We've got
a parade.
The Pirate Lounge and the parade.
Oh, the parade. Yeah.
Both of which I'm very excited about, by the way, because they're 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these are more immediate kind of stuff that's going to be happening. Let me go ahead and share the screen. Sorry to everybody who's listening. This is going to be by nature a little bit more visual tonight. It just is. That's the way it goes. Because there's a lot of concept art and things like that. But I mean, I said kind of on social where having just been to Tokyo Disneyland, tough life I'm leading too, that I watched the Main Street Electrical Parade or their electrical parade. And
which is the Main Street Electrical Parade?
Yeah, I think call it something though, don't they, Andrew?
Yeah, I don't think it's the Main Street.
It's like Dream Lights or something.
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
But it's essentially it's the electrical parade. Okay, same music, stuff like that. But I sat out there and I watched it, and I had completely forgotten almost how much I really loved that, and I totally missed it at the point where I saw it again. And so looking at this, at least at some of the concept art, it's very sparkly. So it makes you kind of wonder. It'd be really cool if they created a new parade with a new score to go with it. Something that turns out to be iconic.
It'll have IP music, I'm sure.
Yeah, see, where I wish, you had Spectrum Magic and you had Main Street Electrical Parade, which had that underlying theme that sort of rolled through the whole parade. I'm kind of hoping they bring that concept back again.
How long?
I mean, I think history tells us they're not going to. None of their new shows have had.
It's been like a mismatch of Disney songs.
Yeah, they just kind of use all IP music now.
Yeah.
How long has Magic Kingdom been without a night? I mean, it's been a long time.
Before COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, you say before COVID and everybody's like, oh, it's not that long, but like it's been 5 years.
5
probably.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm excited about it. I think that's something that's definitely missing.
Yeah, I mean, I hated not having a nighttime parade. Like that's like one of the best parts of Magic Kingdom, if you ask me.
Up here,
to me, it looks like an electrical parade kind of thing. I mean, at least like all the concept art has like lights outlining things and glowy floats, and we're looking right now at some of that concept art. And what was the name of it? I'm like looking.
Yeah, I'm looking too.
Where the nighttime parade, new parade, walk down Disney Starlight. So again, and they're even putting Starlight light in the name.
Are they doing that because of wishes? Starlight, Starbright.
I mean, might be
related.
Might absolutely be a tie-in there, but that's coming in 2025. And they also teased that Disney parks around the world would also have new spectaculars on the horizon. So they're teasing basically that they're developing new stuff. But I mean, I welcome this. This is huge to me, at least, to have this kind of stuff coming back to the parks. From there,
summer 2025 for the parade.
Yeah, literally a year from now. So, and
which is great. I'm really excited about that. And I'm actually, I know, like, maybe these were lesser parts of the announcements for other people, but I'm really excited about the 2 new lounges that are opening next year too. I mean, I
Wait,
think a
what?
Spaceship Earth lounge is like
really
really cool. Yeah.
I actually thought that would be the part that you would be kind of
sarcastic.
No, well, like,
more
you know,
than anything else.
we love, like, that's like, I mean, honestly, like at this point, that mostly what we do in Disney World is go to the bars and the restaurants and stuff. So,
That
you know,
looks.
I don't want to wait in those lines. So,
Does it
I
have
the
think
the,
rides. So,
it's gonna have the
they're-
Barker Bird?
yeah, I mean, I think
That's
that
pretty cool.
I'm pretty excited about both of these, and like I'm really excited that we have a date. They're both opening next year. Like, you know, I can't wait to check them out. I think it's good. And right now, like like if you try to go, ask Jen. We were just there. Like, you try to go to, you know, Trader Sam's, and it's like you might as well be trying to get an audience with the Pope. You know,
Well,
like
same.
at least now, like they'll you know, dispel some of that volume out and hopefully get it a little diffused, so maybe you'd be able to
I think
have a
after
better
they
chance.
built Baseline, they were kind of like, "Hey, we may be onto something here," because that
Yeah.
place always, oh, it's hard to get in there sometimes. I mean, most of the time, it's hard to get in Baseline. So, I think they took that and they're kind of running with it all over.
Yeah,
Great,
I mean,
which is great.
it's
'Cause
been
unlike
working
you.
well for them. Yeah, I mean, Olga's has been, that was like really, really popular in the beginning, but now it's kind of like you can kind of get a reservation at Olga's anytime you want now.
Well, I think it's what that place is just kind of, you know, it was more about going in and seeing all the little details and that type
Yeah.
of stuff. And once you've
Yeah.
seen it, you kind
You're
of
kind
seen
of
it.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it basically, we're seeing in the concept art at least what looks to be a glass of wine.
And a
This is in
bottle-
the
and a-
Magic Kingdom, so
and a mug of beer right below that.
Yep.
Well, I mean, again, you can already get wine and beer in Magic Kingdom, so
Sure.
that's not exactly like earth shattering.
well, I mean, it was you know, at table service, right?
Well, but in Disneyland you have Ogas, so
Yeah, that's true. So
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know.
been ripped off
This
there.
is sort of like I mean, you could sort of. I'm sure they'll serve food too, so they'll probably try and, you know. I mean, that looks like a table, right? Like those are tables.
It
so.
does. It would appear to be.
It looks like the sort of quintessential, like, you know, pirate bar that you would see in any, you know, with the big long tables and all that kind of
Tavern.
stuff. Yeah, tavern. Thank you. That word would not come to my mind for some reason. Yeah, there's a cat up there. See the little
It's like
black cat?
literally a cat. up
Yeah,
there.
and
cool.
In
and
a
a
cannon.
smoking cannon.
With a
Cannon.
smoking
yeah. I'm
cannon
sure
with
the
a-
cannon will
go
that'll
off.
be-
and-
Well, I mean, everybody here's been to Trader Sam's, right? So, like, my guess is it'll be the same kind of idea. Like, some drink will trigger the cannon firing, some drink will trigger the parrot to do something. You know, maybe the cat. Like, they'll all have because, like, in, you know, Trader Sam's, when you order the volcano drink, the volcano erupts, or
Right.
you know, the whole place goes underwater.
Yeah,
if you order
the and the Oa.
yeah, the oh,
Yeah.
Have you ever been on the seats that move up and down?
Yeah. Those came over from Adventurers Club.
I had no idea. I was sitting on one of those, and next
I
thing
did
you
that
know,
the first time I went to Adventurers Club. I'm sitting next to my brother, who's already a lot taller than me. But I look over and I'm like looking at his waist, and I'm like, wait, I'm not this short. And like, yeah, his chair was like all the way up, and mine
Or
was all
this
the way
drunk.
down. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like,
I'm not this short or this drunk.
Yeah.
What's going on? Something's
no,
going
we had
on.
just gotten there, so I knew I wasn't that drunk. Yeah.
So this is coming. This is in the area that where it was kind of in that enclosed.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure we know where it's going yet. I think
I
it
thought
might
was
be going in the
where-
middle.
Yeah, I thought that's where it was.
Like where
going.
Pirates League used to be and the gift shop way
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yes, exactly. That's what I thought, or at least
I hope so. That's a really cool spot for it if that's where they're going to put it. I kind of assumed it would be across the street where the
Across.
former Tortuga Tavern
Yeah.
was.
Yeah,
but
could-
if they
could
put
be
it
there
in that,
too.
if they
Yeah.
put it in that indoor space, that will be really neat.
Yeah,
I mean, it kind of looks like it because, I mean, there's a door. Like I was in that space. 'cause my
Right.
son did
Yeah, right
Pirate League
here.
a long time
Right
ago.
here.
Like it sort of
Yeah.
looks like, yeah,
like right
like
there.
it sort of looks like that kind of space. So that would be neat. Although it is a little small.
It looks intimate.
So it will be, yeah.
You know,
That'll
what's
make
another
it
cool
tough to
thing
get in
about
there.
when they build stuff like this is just when it first opens, just being able to go in there and see all the Easter eggs. 'Cause you know
Yeah,
there's
the
just
problem
not
is you got to
much.
fight like 40,000 other people to do it.
Correct.
But yeah,
That's
it
true.
is.
You're not-
It is really cool when the first time, like I will say, you know, for better or for worse with some of the stuff they've done in recent years, there's nothing that quite beats the excitement of the very first time you go on a new Disney theme park attraction. You know, like you really are excited about it.
That's why I loved going to Tokyo so much. I mean,
yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, gosh, going on all these new rides, it was fantastic.
It's like a whole new world.
So we've got this one, and then we've got
this is really neat.
So
this one
where this is though, right?
Yeah, that's the event space in Spaceship Earth, right?
Which used to be the lounge, the corporate lounge for Siemens, right? Up on the second level that overlooks the back of the park. Yeah, because
look at that though. Like what? I mean, can you imagine having drinks there during the fireworks show and like, what a view.
So these anybody can go to. You don't have to be like a DVC member or.
It's just a bar.
Okay.
It'll be like Trader Sam's, I'm sure, to get in. You'll have to show up at 1 p.m. and get your name on the list.
I don't know. It looks like they've got a couple empty seats here.
I hate this guy.
They always draw them this way, but you will never see the space like this. It will be wall to wall people.
I hate to be this guy, but it just looks boring.
It is a little lightly themed.
Like I get the Spaceship Earth lamps and like balls, but like what else?
I mean, maybe
does it tell me about Spaceship Earth? Like
maybe we should have started with this one before we reviewed the pirate.
Fire one's incredible.
I hear you though, Andrew. Like when I first saw the concept art, I was looking for more than just like on the back wall. You've got the.
This looks a little bit like
very modern Epcot.
Scale Marriott lounge.
But it needs like a mural or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like so much of Epcot has like murals. Like it needs like a. Like it would be great if they did a mural that like evoked like the original storyline, right? Would like it show scenes, like something like that. It needs a little something more,
or like a Herbie Ryman like artwork, like I have up on the wall of the original.
Something like. But like everywhere in Epcot has a big mural, right? Like even the Connections Cafe has a giant mural. Like it needs a mural.
What's up with this guy?
Maybe they'll do one when they execute.
He looks a little shady, huh?
Is that a neck beard?
Is that mutton chops?
That's what I'm looking at.
A neck
beard down here. What's going on there?
But it's missing on the other. That could be Gary O'Brien.
Probably AI.
It does
Gary
look more like Gary.
It's Gary. Is he holding out on us, John? What's he doing in the concept art?
By the way, for those who follow the podcast and follow Intercot as a whole, Gary made an appearance recently. If you go to the Intercot page, and you look at, by the way, we do have to get to our predictions at some point. What we all said was going to happen. And of course, not much of it actually happened. But Gary,
that's because I was trying to go off like the beaten. We were all trying to make like edgy predictions. I think like maybe we're trying to find the hidden gem that might show up.
Yeah, we definitely were. But I think, and Gary made this wonderful, detailed prediction, which you'll have to then go ahead and read and just check out because it's
pretty entertaining. Gary is a writer by trade, if you don't know that. So he's eloquent when it comes.
Yeah, he has a way with words. I will just bring it over here.
He is the author of The Yeti Is Down. So
real quick, we've got our Intercot's D23 Experience Showcase prediction. So everybody made kind of a prediction. And
I like how you lead mine off with Ian Grouched.
Well, I told you I was going to do that. I was trying to put some humor in there.
No, I haven't grouched once tonight.
No, that is true. You've actually been surprisingly upbeat for the evening. Okay, so anyway,
I do want to talk there before we get too far off. I do want to talk about what this does to. So, like, why are they doing this? Right? Okay, yes, to generate buzz, but like, the real goal isn't it to like expand capacity, right? Like, because the parks are just too darn busy, and like the lines are too long. Like,
thanks to Ian. Go ahead.
So like, does it do that
twice tonight?
Really? Was that the?
We're gonna make you put $1 in the swear jar.
That wasn't even a swear. That's not. Anyway, I dropped an F-bomb. Give me a break.
I know. No, I think the idea is actually let's get some more capacity.
So does this do that?
No,
because
you can fit 20 people in there.
Yeah, I think like this probably a capacity is like 100 people, 120 people, maybe. You think?
It doesn't look like that much seating.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll cram 100
Yeah,
in there.
there'll
Don't
be
worry.
300 people
It'll-
in there.
it'll
But
be-
I was speaking more broadly, though. Does this do this for the resort? The alternative was they add a fifth theme park, right? Like, so put this in the context of they need a fifth theme park, in my opinion,
By the way,
you know, to handle capacity. But does this
credit
Yeah,
where credit's
that's
due? I'm
good.
sorry, Bud Lusk.
Bud? Yeah,
That's a good suggestion.
that is a
wall
good
of
suggestion.
room with a smoke smell. There we
Maybe
go.
a drink with.
Ooh, what if they
Ooh,
recreated some
drink.
of the old effects that are broken in Spaceship Earth and haven't worked in 20 years, and they put them in there? You know, like the little chariots moving along the wall.
By the way, Bobby, a little bit late to the party,
Yeah.
but let's get Ian going by saying bye-bye to Tom Sawyer Island, Rivers of America. And the
I called that like 3 months ago too. I said I don't think any of that'll survive.
and
But that's my point, though. So that was part of what I was getting at. So what will leave Magic Kingdom to make the room for these 4 new attractions? Will it actually be +4
I
new
think that
attractions?
in that case, with these lands, this is going to be all plus in this park.
So you won't
Yeah.
lose a single thing, you don't
Nope.
think?
I don't think so.
You're going to keep the Rivers of America. You're going to keep Tom Sawyer Island. You're going
I
to keep.
could see them shortening it just like they did in Disneyland to keep it because it's kind of one of those things that Walt, loved or had,
Yeah.
and I think
iconic.
it fits in there. But they basically cut it off. The track becomes really short. The boat goes even slower, and they turn
People
it
are walking past the boat as it's.
turn it around, run it limited hours, whatever, and then the whole back part of the river gets filled
And does the train? What happens to the train?
The train's going to have to close again.
again.
For
yeah.
some
It
of
is,
this
right?
construction.
Yeah. But where will it Can it go?
Well, it can go through. It definitely can go through
Cars Land, right? It can go through
yeah,
Cars
Cars-
Land.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'll be
Now,
fine in Cars Land.
in the scary part, I don't know. Maybe you go through a tunnel or something. When
Yeah, they
the-
could do a tunnel over the track and just sort of
Yeah.
build
I
even
mean,
on
that's
top
kind
of
of
it,
what they
really.
did on, through
On Tron. Yeah, they
Yeah.
did do that on Tron.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so if it's +4, even if it's 2
I'm
good
just
ones,
saying in the
it's
Magic Kingdom, that's how I
Yeah.
feel.
agreed. Animal Kingdom's not right because we know that's really just swapping out.
Well,
Technically,
where
you're
are we
trading
going next?
3.
Let's figure out where we're going next.
Well-
so what do we want to talk about?
You want to go to Animal Kingdom?
You want to go to Animal Kingdom since I mentioned it?
Do we? Okay.
Sure.
Well,
And that's the most fully formed of all
We-
the.
we absolutely can go there. So we can go to Tropical Americas, which is actually has a name.
Hmm.
Anybody see what that was? I'm like
Pueblo Esperanza
That's it. Thank you. Thank you, Canada.
with my
Alrighty
lovely
then.
Spanish accent. Welcome to
Pueblo
Pueblo
Esperanza.
Esperanza.
Yes. So yeah, we're
Yeah.
now in Animal Kingdom, and this is going to sprout to life, as they say, in 2027, 3 years from now.
Okay, I mean, let's by Disney standards, that's pretty
That's
quick,
pretty quick.
right?
3 new rides, right?
Right. So
2,
you've
isn't
got-
it 2?
No, wait, no, the carousel.
Yeah, there's a carousel in there.
Is that
Andrew is correct. There is. There's a carousel, so that's one.
Did they announce that, or are you just picking
It's
that up? from the
there.
No,
content?
they
No,
announced
No, they announced it.
Okay,
they
Yeah,
announced
I
that it's
didn't.
going to be
Animal
Right
Kingdom
there.
featuring
carousel.
classic Disney characters.
It says
Oh,
a
okay.
wood carver has created a giant working carousel featuring his favorite animals from Disney stories.
Honestly,
It's
to Ian's point, it's capacity right there. I mean, look, the kids got to have something to do too. They're not going to necessarily be tall enough to go on the indie ride or whatever.
Yeah, I mean that will fill the void of the
The
Triceratops.
Triceratops spin,
Yeah.
right? Exactly. Yeah.
It's a good point.
But it's net neutral then. So you lost 3 attractions and you're adding 3.
Right. Well, you
Yeah,
can
if you
kind of
include Primeval World, I
Right.
guess, right?
Which
Or the jungle.
you have to. I mean, that was an
Big
e-ticket.
kids.
all right. So we've got the carousel, which is right there. We've got the food
Where is it? Point to the carousel on the map, John.
right
in
here.
the center.
Right
Oh,
here.
it's I got you.
Okay. So
Right
we
there.
got here the food right there, which is basically where the burgers
Where
and all
Restaurantosaurus is now.
Restaurantosaurus, and then you walk around the corner, and then we've got over here Indy. Hello, Indy. And then over here We've got Encanto, and then maybe some gift shops and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
I was excited. The Indy ride's new too. It's not a port.
Yeah, they said actually. Well, I mean the track is going to be obviously the same. They're not changing that, but the whole new ride based around it, yeah,
The
is
story is completely different.
completely different.
Mine-
Do we know they're keeping the track, or is that? Are we just assuming that?
Come on.
No, I mean legitimate, John. But like, do we know that for sure?
They didn't say.
I'm gonna
Based on this concept art, they're keeping the track.
99.9% that they.
I mean,
are
they
not-
may actually be reusing the ride vehicles.
Do you
Probably.
think
Yeah.
they had
Two
short
shells.
round? They had short round at the presentation last night.
Yeah, I saw that. I was,
What was that?
So well, I don't know his real name. I'm apologizing, but from Temple of Doom, Short Round, the little boy in Short
Okay.
Round,
Yeah,
named Short Round. He's all grown up now, obviously. But do you
He's
think
got-
maybe he will play a role in this
Are you-
ride?
Are you basically saying that Gary's wishes almost will come true? That the
Possibly.
sort of the B roll or C roll actor in a movie becomes the person that the ride is based around.
Well, the
So
one in
just so his
California,
name is
Sala, but
Kei
Sala's way
Hui
too
Kwan
old.
is his name.
Okay, so maybe he will be like the host of the ride. You
Is
know what I
Sala-
mean?
oh, like
Sala.
yeah.
Like
Oh,
Sala.
instead of like Indy, come with me. Oh
Yeah.
no, we can't go there. You know,
By the
Maybe
way,
Short Round will be the host.
little off topic, but I met
Yeah.
I met him at the Comic Con here in New Orleans,
Yeah.
and he spent
Short round or
no
Sala?
Sala.
Oh, dude, Sala's the man. I love
Dude,
Sala.
he spent 20 minutes just chatting with me and my son-in-law. I mean,
Wow.
literally just
Okay, that's
gave us like life advice and just asked us all kinds
mean-
of questions.
and you know what? If
I
he
mean-
gave me life advice, I'd listen to him.
Dude, he was amazing. We met a
That's
couple
cool.
different people there, but he literally was. Everybody else was kind of behind the table. He walks around in front of the table and talks to people and just stands there
Yeah.
and talks to everybody that walks up. He
Very
was
cool.
incredible.
not to top you, Jimmy, but I mean, I met Dr. Seeker at CES.
Whoa,
I was like,
that's a
That
good.
does not
that's a
top
good
Sala.
transition.
I was like, Seeker, what's up? He's like, oh yeah, Seeker. That's right. I'm like, I was in and out and did that in like 10 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, you're awesome. Every time I go there, I love seeing you there. He's like, oh, it's so funny that, it's like a callback for, he probably got paid, just
Yeah.
union scale,
Union
or whatever,
scale, yeah,
to walk
right.
in to read a script and be in and out in 5 or 10 minutes.
Sala Funko.
What do you got
Yeah.
there, Jimmy? Oh, you
Sala.
got- okay.
Yeah, John Ron Davies, Rice Davies,
yeah.
and then on the side of it, he wrote "Avoid bad dates."
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Bad dates.
So pretty excited about the whole indie thing.
Yeah, they said it's like themed to Mayan temple and some type of ancient creature. So that's what I got.
That's how they get the animal kingdom tie-in. I
Yeah.
guess. Is that what my
That's- yeah,
criticism
right.
was like? How does this relate? to
Maybe it's a
animals?
dinosaur. No.
Yeah. There we go. So yeah, now I mean, looks interesting. And there's I guess that's the temple that
It
the
looks
ride-
similar to like the Disney Sea kind of temple.
That's true. Yeah, for
It's got
those that have been
a giant pyramid up front.
yeah, kind of Mayan temple. Yeah.
And I think
along
that
those-
one's themed to like Aztec.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we've got that coming. That's cool. Then we've got what looks to be a boat ride.
Yeah.
The Encanto.
It looks
Yeah,
like
it's
it.
hard to tell if it's a boat ride. Like I was looking
it
at that.
Definitely is. I've seen other concept art that's zoomed out from this one,
Okay, and it
and
shows
people are in boats. So I'm just letting you know. I think it's
I've never seen Encanto, so I don't know
really good.
anything about it or like how it.
You should watch it. Seriously, it's really good. It's really well
Yeah,
done.
my kids tell me that it's.
you're
Really
not going to
good.
pressure Ian into watching anything. He still hasn't seen It's a Wonderful Life
John's like
Oh
appalled
my
by that.
god,
ever.
John's-
Ever. Yeah, I am appalled by that. I can't
I'm
imagine.
appalled by that.
So there's we've got a more of a picture of kind of what the show built. I mean, that's kind of interesting. That's really different.
Yeah, that is really cool. I mean, if it actually looks like that, that is really cool looking.
It's like Mystic Manor in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
reference.
That kind of thing. Yeah. So
Andrew just keeps throwing around
I know.
the Shanghai and Tokyo references. I'm like, come on, man.
Come on, man. So looking pretty cool. I guess that's the gateway or arch that somebody's dinging.
I'm
Wow.
sorry.
You're popular.
I know. I don't know who's texting.
They're like, are you on the podcast?
You're so famous.
You're so famous. This would be, I guess, the arch where you would normally come into Dinoland, and that's the way
down where the bone. Oh wait, I guess we're losing the boneyard too, though. So technically, that's another attraction down. So now we're -1 attraction.
I am all for it because, in my opinion, Dinoland sucks.
Yes, agreed.
It was an interesting concept, and I think it's kind of.
No more dinosaur rides though in Disney.
What's that?
It would
no
have
more
been
dinosaur themed rides in Disney.
That is kind of interesting too. Yeah, they wiped out the whole dinosaur concept, which is something that
no universe
really popular with kids. This guy looks like he's like werewolf. What is going on there?
The Werewolf of London. That's got to be AI generated.
Wait, he has like fangs.
Yeah, look at his
Yeah.
It's a little disturbing. What's going on with him? Anyway, it's funny sometimes when you zoom in on the concept art. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, in the past, you knew that some Disney artist drew it, and now who knows? I mean,
maybe it's Mid-Journey.
At least they don't have like 10 fingers. So some there, yeah. Bobby says Wolverine confirmed.
Yeah.
It's gonna be coming to it. All right, so that's. I mean, Animal Kingdom. Oh, the other thing that's coming, and I don't know if I have. Let me see if I have any artwork for this. I think
Zootopia.
Maybe, yeah. Oh, there I do.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That's another 2025 opening, right?
Yeah. Is that taking place of Bug's Life?
Yes.
Yes.
So 3D in the Tree of Life, going to be Zootopia Better Together. Yeah. So anyway, that's coming pretty quickly though, right?
Well, that was announced a while ago. Like they sort of threw that out there. I think even at the last D23 event.
Judy Hopps, Nick Wilde, and their friends from the film Zootopia Better Together take guests on an adventure through different biomes seen in the film. This new attraction opens next winter. So
so that is a 2025 opening too then.
Yep. So that's good.
Looks like it's going to be a 3D show.
It is. The characters have the glasses on. So it's just a straight up replacement for Tough. I don't know. And you know what? Quite frankly, I'm good with that. That one only scared the crap out of kids. Like Andrew and Michael both.
Oh, I loved it though.
And it would like poke you in the back.
Yeah,
that was from that era of Imagineering when they really like to abuse their guests. They were always like spraying stinky stuff on you, poking you. Rats were chasing. Like it was like they hated their guests and they couldn't wait to abuse.
Like a bug that would walk on the floor and it would like.
Oh, that was the worst part. I didn't even
like weevils or something. I forget what it was.
Yeah, where
the spiders.
Oh, the spiders too.
The spider scares everybody. That was to this day. That is the only ride that I had to take my oldest daughter out of. She was like super brave and would do anything, but that ride scared her.
Yeah, I think Michael specifically did not like that. So
they were pretty creepy.
Yeah, nothing can compare
to. Says happy to see something new in the tree. Hubby does oddly like Tough to Be a Bug. So I mean, I actually like the movie. I don't think that attraction really did it justice. I mean,
it's old. I mean, that opened with the park, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's what 26 years old. Again, I mean, 3D technology's come a long way since then.
We had that discussion. Andrew and I were talking about that before the show about Dinosaur going away, and I mean, I'm a little bit sad because I actually did like that, but I mean, the pre-show was looking dated. waiting area going down to the cars, it was just like dusty and
Yeah,
dirty.
you didn't tell that to Dr. Seeker, did you?
No, I didn't. That
Your show's very
dusty and
outdated.
dirty isn't the attraction's fault, though. That's operations' fault.
I know that, but I'm just saying it had seen better days, and my point being, I'm okay with that being updated. I'm sad to see it go, but it had a really good run.
They also had way too many.
It ain't no Horizons though.
They had way too many maintenance issues with that ride. I mean, with the Carnotaurus at the end that would chase you, and then the one like.
Well, I mean, can we be honest? I mean, the Rise of the Resistance can't get the. Laser cannon working. And then that was one of the coolest effects in the actual ride. Period.
Yeah, that's why. Like, as much as I want to be excited about this stuff, like I'm kind of like, what's operations going to do with it once it gets handed over? Half the effects will stop working. It'll be up and down all the time. And,
I'm sad about that too. Janet says, "We're not going to make it. We're not going to make it. You made it at the end." I'm with that. Okay, so is that? I think that's Animal Kingdom, right?
That is Animal Kingdom.
All right. So where do we go next? I guess.
How about to Disney's Hollywood Studios?
Hollywood Studios. Okay. So first up there, let's talk about the other thing that was the shocker.
Yeah, this one, I have to say, the Villains Land I kind of knew was coming. This one, I was like, like no way.
I mean, are you kidding me? Like, again, this is 10, 15 years worth of rumors.
No,
pretty much.
John,
when did the movie come out?
More than that. I don't like. I mean it's like mid 2000s. I think
since it's maybe
looking it up.
Years
2001. So 23 years.
Well, that's when the movie came out, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you started
that rumor's been around pretty much since the movie came out.
Yeah,
say maybe 2 or 3 years after that. I mean, just even being generous. Literally, this has been on the internet for that many years that this was going to happen. But think about ride technology and things like that have come along since then and how things are different. And you're looking at right now sort of the state of the art kind of stuff going with a hanging coaster. And I mean, the ride vehicles look interesting. And
I mean, the other thing that I thought was really cool was that he made a point of saying that, like in the film, you will be picked up by the claw on your door. So, well, look at the ride. So it's like individual, like it's not a coaster in the sense that there's like, one train. I mean, it looks like individual, almost like Peter Pan as a roller coaster.
Yeah. I
think it they released like a model of the ride, and I think it's gonna be a full coaster.
Oh yeah. I don't hold on. I actually think I have that. Let me pull
it.
That.
It looks kind of like
you have it.
Being a coaster nerd, a Vekoma SLC.
Okay.
It's
there it is.
Did anybody besides me think it looks a little small?
I think that's way bigger than you think it is.
Yeah, but like, look at the track. Like, how long?
Yeah, is it gonna go fast through the whole thing, or is it gonna stop at certain?
I mean, I assume it will be a little bit more of like a soar than a roller. You know what I mean? Like, but it doesn't look that big.
Well, did they say it was gonna be a roller coaster?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe they actually referred to it as.
It says you'll go into the factory and experience the first suspended coaster ever in a Disney park.
Yeah, so clearly that's the factory right there.
I mean, but okay, this is pretty tall, so potentially you could have a couple different layers, like a higher layer and a lower.
Oh yeah,
it's hard to really tell, but it kind
of it is hard to
stuff
tell.
Down below.
They had a video of it, like going over the top of the model.
Oh, did they? Yeah, I don't have that.
It has multiple layers, so
yeah. So I could see that with theming and things like that. That it could be pretty interesting.
Now the big discussion online is where will this land go? Because there are a lot of upset Muppet fans.
No, I think I heard somebody say that it's going in the launch bay.
See,
Ooh.
I was wondering if it would go there too, because I feel like
That whole area
wasted
now is kind of
space.
dead, right? There's nothing
There's
there.
nothing
So, yeah, I sort of think
Okay,
that's
so this is the entrance. Launch bay is, where are we? I'm zooming in. Okay, back in here. Is that
No,
it?
straight back.
No. Oh, sorry, that's Sunset
no,
Boulevard.
it's
Straight
it's
back.
over to the
Over
right,
here.
isn't
There we
Yeah,
go.
right
Sorry.
there.
Yep, right. Like all this.
yeah.
There's nothing in all this stuff
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, it's all empty,
All
right?
of this
That's
building.
it's all. I don't
Okay.
even know if is the Disney Junior show still
I think
running.
That's
I don't even
still
know.
there, but that's
No,
the only thing back.
But again, remember Ian, where we snuck inside there. I mean, this is we went back a stairway and like kind of opened a door.
Oh yeah, what?
Yeah, remember that? We
Never
were like,
mind. I don't want
"Oh,
to.
look at
Yeah,
that."
what? When
That's-
was that?
That's just well, that was. There used to be a way. In
Yeah.
Derby, if you went up to the second floor, there was this other door, and if you like prop that door open, it went in back here. And there used to be, when this park opened, where Disney Junior Play and Dance or whatever it says right there, is there used to be places to eat. That was a place to eat. And they had like, you know, a couple different levels where you could get food and you would sit out. And so this is a huge building.
Man, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, you could.
It is a very big building.
But there were. You don't you remember? There was like a sort of a
I
bar
do remember
food
that.
area that
Yeah.
we kind of looked over, and it was on the
Mhm.
second level.
Yeah.
And we were like, "Oh, we don't belong here. We should probably."
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was like that was like the Animation Academy was like somewhere around there too, right? I vaguely remember like there was a whole like bunch of people drawing at one time too.
Yeah.
Oh,
But anyway, this I think it'll go in here because
Like,
this is all
literally
dead space
nothing.
now.
Nothing. Yeah, exactly. Like all this, the launch bay, all this building could go. This, quite frankly, could go. They could keep this open. The voyage of the.
Well, I'm
Night.
assuming they're going to keep that
Like,
open
putting
because
a
they just
wall
redid
right
it.
here.
Right?
Yeah, and
Okay, what about for discussion's sake? What if
Yeah,
they
here
get
we
rid
go.
of the Indiana State stunt show now
Whoa,
that they're
whoa,
going to
whoa,
have
whoa.
an Indiana ride?
oh, you mean over here? Well,
Yeah.
you know,
That would be my second.
there's a
I
lot
would.
of
That would be
things.
like my second pick. The only reason why I'm a little skeptical about that is because that sucks up so many people.
Tons.
I saw someone convinced today that basically they were going to get rid of Rock and Roller Coaster.
No,
They're not going to do that.
No.
Oh, that's what I said. I
Why?
said,
Because Aerosmith's done
Yeah,
now.
I mean, they'll retheme. They'll retheme that. I'm
no.
sure that's a given, but they're not going to get rid of it. Why would they? It's like a super popular ride.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I think the argument was that there's a huge building back here that looked like the concept art for the Monstropolis, and
Yeah,
could
they already
do
built
this
it.
and
That's
that and
secret.
blah, blah,
No,
blah.
that's not somebody's.
No. What they were
somebody
saying is
needs
they
to
were
lay
just
off the.
they could just put a facade on that, and that actually would just be a backdrop for things and not the actual coaster.
it would anger a lot of fans.
I'm pretty sure
Well,
this is
they
a
do
backstage. I think that's a backstage building right there. Anyway, that
Which
they
one?
probably actually use for
This?
something. This big white one.
Now that's probably Rock and Roller Coaster. That's probably all. It may all be.
the launch and
Also
that's
could
like
be.
the
Just
show
the launch goes out,
Yeah,
ends
and then
here,
goes back in there.
comes back
Maybe,
in
yeah.
and ends here. You got Lightning McQueen's racing,
Yeah, that's
Academy, which is there too. Which
yeah. John, go back to your right,
Very
to the
right.
right a little bit. Keep
All
going.
right.
Right. What's that right below your cursor? What is that dirt pile there?
There.
There's some construction going on right here. It looks like. What is that?
I don't know. I think
What
this
is
was when
this,
they were redoing.
I mean, it also could be an old satellite.
Yeah, this is an
Yeah,
old
but-
sat map. Yeah, I noticed that because they still had some Galaxy's Edge look. I mean,
Oh, that's under construction. Okay, so
Yeah.
this is old. Yeah, all right.
Google Maps, but I mean, that's old. But so the other thing that I mean, Jen probably saw as well that had people all in a tizzy was basically they were saying that the whole Muppet
Muppets.
area.
They just
gotta
didn't they
go.
just like add. I think Muppets is safe. I know people love to worry about it,
Like
but
right here, like this whole area right here.
Yeah.
Is that,
But I don't
is
know if
gonna
that would be big enough for
Yeah.
a coaster.
So first of all, they're not going to get rid of Mama Melrose's because Mama Melrose's is. I mean, I guess they could retheme it to a Monsters restaurant. They could do that.
Isn't there like a big sushi restaurant in the Monsters movie that's where the little girl shows up or something?
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah. That's in
they're going to have a sushi restaurant.
Yeah, that's in the first one. He takes what the heck's her name? Snooky Poo or whatever.
Boo, yeah.
No, his girlfriend. What's his girlfriend's name?
Oh, Susie Q. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't think of her name. But anyway, he takes her out to the fancy sushi restaurant. Yeah.
So
this looks like a pretty big space. I mean but if you think about it oriented, on your right is the current Disney Junior building.
Yeah, and straight back,
right? And then straight back is the launch bay.
Launch bay area. They build a big show building behind it that it's in, and and then they clear out some other crap over here, and then
because over on the left is all just abandoned stores. There's not even anything in there anymore.
I mean, you got a slide or something, like a little play zone or something.
Yeah, it could be a little play area. Oh, look, the CDA is parked out front.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. I like that.
What's it say on the door there? Go up. No, not the door of the car, the door of the building. It's laughter we're after. Okay.
Laughter we're after, yeah.
There was something when I went to Disneyland Paris, if I may share that also.
Yes, please.
That they had things that were Monsters Inc. themed, where like the kids, I remember my kids would go and you like scream into this thing and they would try and like fill up the laughter meters or something.
Yeah, I've seen video of that actually.
Yeah.
Cool.
Why do the buildings on the right look so much like Epcot? It's a little weird. Is that what Monsters Incorporated? Yeah, it looks a little like Ratatouille. Yeah, is that what Monsters? Is that what Monstropolis looks like? I don't really remember.
Maybe.
I thought it was very like modern.
You got the Canister Supply Company right there.
Okay.
So maybe you go eat in the Canister Supply Company.
So, but question: do we think this is the only attraction that they're adding here? Is going to be the coaster? There's nothing. I mean, other than maybe the sliding board that John just saw. There was no rumor about any other attractions for this area, right?
Not that they said.
I think it was just the one confirmed.
Funny.
It says,
there's Harryhausen right there. That was the restaurant they went to, was Harryhausen's.
It says work will begin next year. So I guess
which,
we'll
by
find
the way,
out
is an
We're going to
homage
find
to
out.
The master of stop motion animation, Ray Harryhausen.
Yeah. You know what? The weird thing about this is the perspectives don't match. And I think somebody else online may have pointed this out, but look, like over
here, there's a bunch of nothing in that concept art.
And in this one,
and then in the other one, there's like
it's flipped. There is stuff on that side.
Yeah, but it's on the wrong side though.
Yeah, I know, but they have it on both sides now.
Yeah.
Well, but this is not the one that's over here. Is not the building that the buildings that straight across are the ones that's on that side.
Totally lost at this point. They're like,
you know what? That just goes to show you that you need to watch us live and not.
Yeah, you do need to watch us. So really, if you're listening to this podcast, realize you can also go watch the video on X, YouTube, or Facebook, or on Intercot.com, where we have the back issue of like pretty much all of our.
We keep our back issues there.
Back issues.
Anyway.
So, yeah, is there anything else? What am I missing?
I'm going to say something really quick. I'm surprised the Cars land is not in Hollywood Studios, because that has been rumored for so long that's going to end up in Hollywood Studios. I'm surprised it made its way to Frontierland.
I think they just liked the easy theming transition there, because it just fits so nicely behind Big Thunder Mountain that I think they. John, one more piece for studios is the new mission for Smuggler's Run.
Yeah, I was just pulling that up. Thank you for bringing it up, which is cool. This is the kind of stuff that I was kind of hoping they would do more of. Like as far as for this ride, I think we need multiple missions and things to make it interesting, because it's like not that it's gotten to the point where I don't even go.
I've only been on it once. And I was so underwhelmed. I was like, I don't think I'm going. But in all fairness, I just don't like simulator rides. This is not my thing. Like, so, I'm sure there's plenty of people who love it if you like Sims. It's just not my.
No, it's interesting if you are up front and one of the two drivers.
That thing is so hard to steer.
It's
it is.
I crashed like it was a disaster.
Yeah.
it gets less and less interesting the further back you are. So, like, if you're the pilot, it's great. If you're the gunners, it's okay. And if you're the engineer, it kind of sucks.
I definitely agree with that. I think that's
So I'm a little lost though. Are you like smuggling now with the Mandalorian?
Mandalorian and Grogu. Yeah, you're bringing.
Like,
well, they kind of need to they're always trying to get from one place to the other without maybe you're smuggling them.
because the
Maybe you're
pre-show has
smuggling
that
Grogu.
I don't remember his name, but the pre-show has that animatronic.
Ando
Yeah, that.
Yeah,
So is he still going to be there, asking you to go get some canisters or
That's
something?
true.
They'll change the audio for him probably.
Yeah,
we did forget, by the way, in Epcot, John, to mention that Test Track opens next year.
What was that?
Test Track.
I was just coming.
You like how I
He
said,
keeps trying to catch you off guard, John, and you're up to
John's
the task.
one step ahead of me.
I'm on it here, man.
Managing the delicate flow.
So I mean, there's been video and pictures out there of the canopy coming down to the front of Test Track. Actually,
that canopy.
Same here. I'm totally looking forward to this. That looks
great.
This is a kind of a throwback. Again, not only is the inside supposed to be a throwback to the old World of Motion a little bit, that they're going to bring some of that kind of storytelling and elements to it, but the outside looks a lot more like it used to. It was a lot more graceful, but I mean, you used to be able to see the cars kind of going up into the ride, which sort of built your anticipation as you walked up to the building, like, oh, look at that, that's cool. They actually came out of the building and
that was really neat. Yeah.
And aside from the narration from Gary Owens, it's fun.
I'm very curious to see what they do with this.
Has there been any details on the actual
nothing?
ride?
Not really. This is like as close as it gets, and to be honest with you, this looks kind of a lot like the Test Track that's there now.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Just
like this art doesn't really tell us anything other than
we were really
that forest section. It's going to be more foresty.
Well,
more trees.
We were really anticipating something more space themed, since now that you have Guardians and the mission space and then like that
I thought it
whole
might
area.
go a little more futuristic too.
Yeah.
Are they going more electric?
No, I think they're going back again to the original idea, which was they're exploring and this is what they say: explore the past, present, and future of automation with newly rethemed Test Track presented by Chevrolet. Buckle up, it might get bumpy. I mean, in the original ride, they took you through man's challenges in motion, trying to get in motion, whether it be through horses or carriages to early cars. And then in the end, you ended up in what I thought, as a kid at least, was one of the cool scenes. Yeah, where you came down into this future city, and then they used the Haunted Mansion effect to put you inside of this like bubble car, like this car of the future. Yeah. And it was the same exact thing that where the ghosts would join you in the Doom buggy, same idea. But I always, like, for a while I thought that was actually in Horizons or it was in Spaceship Earth, and then I went back and kind of looked at it. I was like, oh no, that actually was World of Motion.
Yeah, that was World of Motion. Yeah.
The real question is, as much as that ride is broken down, how they continue to get Chevy to sponsor it.
They must see value in it because they've been there a long time.
But I mean, that ride is broken
because they have the showcase at the end where you can buy a car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although remember, it did used to be General Motors who sponsored it. They backed out, and then Chevy decided as a brand they were going to continue the.
Chevy's owned by GM.
Owned by GM.
Yeah, they are, but the parent company did the
parent company
did the funding before, and then they backed out. And Chevy now spends their own.
I mean,
it's not corporate money; it's Chevy brand money. They
think about this. This ride originally opened. What was it? A year or two late? I can't even remember.
It was 2 years late. Yeah.
It was 2 years late because they were trying to figure out this technology, which now is used in one of the highest rated guest satisfaction rides, period, which is Cars out in California. Consistently scores like among the best of Disney rides.
It's one of my, certainly, if it's not my favorite, I mean, it's not my favorite because nothing will ever supplant Haunted Mansion or Pirates for me. But of the newest stuff they've done, it's by far my favorite. I tell my family all the time, like, you got to see it at some point in time because it is
pretty much the same technology in this. Is the same technology with Indy and Dinosaur and all that, but this one was wearing the tires off the cars, and they literally had to invent new tires. That would last on these vehicles. So it's kind of interesting that it's still going to be around. At Jimmy's point, I guess maybe they figured out the maintenance nightmare. I don't know. All these years later. So
it's I mean, we don't really know what they're going to do with it, right? Like maybe they're going to change the ride system. I don't think they will, but they could.
Way. I mean,
I will say I hope they get rid of a lot of the screens because they relied on a lot of screens in the second revision of it.
Well, and that's another, in my opinion, that's another trend in Disney.
Yeah, which I'm a little nervous about.
Big fan of.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think it's being refurbed long enough for anything major to change. In my opinion.
No, it's just show sets, I'm sure.
Coming back in 2025, so it's opening next year.
Yeah. Everything.
Yeah, it's just show sets, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if you're still gonna make your own car.
No, let's not.
Yeah, I hope they get rid of that too.
That whole interactive era where everything had to be interactive from the queue at Space Mountain to the poo queue or the wall of COVID where everyone's touching the
Haunted Mansion queue.
I mean, all that stuff. No, stop. the cut all that stuff out. I mean, the Spaceship Earth, the whole thing.
The Spaceship Earth one is so embarrassingly bad.
Oh, it's just so outdated.
Oh, by the way, so
I'm not sure it was ever dated. It was bad when they launched.
The graphics are horrible.
It wasn't, but so
there's like 3 options. I mean, if you ride it like 4 times, you're like, well, I've seen all these already.
Half
like,
the time my face is like cut off,
or it doesn't work at all.
This is weird.
Yeah, it never is right.
You're like some weird ectomorph with
okay.
They show it on the map at the end. It's like everyone's face is just all messed up,
distorted. You look like a gargoyle.
So that brings me to another point, which is because we've gone through all the announcements basically for Walt Disney World. What didn't get announced that you thought was going to get announced, and among it is the Spaceship Earth redo.
We were on it a week ago, and it's so awful.
I don't even ride it anymore.
It's just so worn down, and it's just sad.
It is sad. And, I genuinely like the attraction. I wish they just put a little love into it and clean it up. And
really, the ending is just...
Yeah, I really thought they'd, if they would just redo the ending and kind of, again, maybe do it.
They need to fix the narration, too. The new narration is awful.
Oh, God.
I don't like...
Dench.
Yeah, I like Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons was definitely the best. Judi Dench sounds condescending.
Well, Walter Cronkite was the best, but Jeremy Irons was really strong. But it's not even so much her. Like, I don't care about Judi Dench. If she narrated the original script,
it
would be fine. What I don't like is the sort of weird,
cutesy comments.
Yeah, cutesy is a good word for it. It's like
emotions. They invented them.
Yeah, it's almost like this weird, it's like I'm in preschool or something,
it's almost kind of condescending.
It is that's the word I was going to use, actually, Jimmy. I didn't know if it was too, but yeah, it does feel a little condescending. It's like you're too stupid to talk to like an adult. So
it's true.
Yeah, I really don't like it. The last time I rode it, which wasn't that long, a couple months ago maybe. I got off and I was like, I don't like this ride. I don't like it anymore. I loved it. It used to be one of my favorites, but it's just bad now.
It's a shame because it's like the last remnants of
Bastion
original Epcot,
Yeah.
The scene where you go through oh my gosh, my brain is not working because I have a cold. But where the Apple computers were invented and stuff, and his car is parked there. The car was so covered in dust. Like it was just somebody get like a cloth and wipe it off.
Just
Like
wipe
it was
it down.
so gross.
Maybe that would
That's
be
just indicative of their maintenance challenges
Yeah.
now. They just do not like it's all.
Tell you what, you wouldn't see that in Tokyo Disneyland.
No.
All right, Andrew.
They do a great job.
All right, Andrew.
That absolutely.
Yeah, that's the piece that I don't like. A lot of this stuff, troubles me, but that piece is just really disappointing. Because the one thing, like John, you posted that picture the other day of the overflowing trash can.
Yeah.
Like that's not uncommon anymore.
Yeah, no,
you see them a lot, and it's like, I mean that you never saw that before ever. Like nothing even.
Only once
like
did I ever see that before, and that was before Michael Eisner came into power. Right where kind of the management Disney was drifting, and they almost got taken over and sold off.
Kind of like now,
it was right there. In that era where stuff started to go downhill, you'd see the light bulbs on Main Street that would be out and things like that.
I mean, I'm not one to get fired up over burned out light bulbs.
No,
like I know that's like a cliche, like Disney fans get upset about burned out light bulbs. But I will say, I drive by the Contemporary at night a lot, like a couple times a week. And the same light bulb on the outside of the Contemporary has been burned out for 8 months. Like, at least. And they're like kind of bigger bulbs. So it leaves like a pretty big gap. They're not like little ones. You really see it. Like they really just kind of don't care anymore.
And Jen, you want to?
Yeah. So when we were going up at the start of the ride, there's like these weird wires just hanging down. Like we're like, oh my God, like what is this?
Is that on Spaceship Earth?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it looked like a pipe hanging down. Like, did it come unattached? Like, what is this?
Is it
I don't
important?
know. It's just the whole thing is just worn out, and it was like dusty, and I don't know. And then it's like clunk, 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 clunk. Everything clunks on that ride.
And that's another one that stops like so often. Like
But Bud's saying Andrew's getting to be like Ian in his Catholic faith.
You mean intelligent and realistic?
I like George's comment there. I'm very excited about what was released. Now, hopefully we can get the stock headed in the right direction. Yeah, no kidding. Holy crud, George. I should have sold earlier this year.
I am a little curious to see what this does for the stock price.
He gives it a bump.
I don't think it will.
No.
If anything, I wouldn't be surprised if it hurts it a little bit, because I started thinking like, what will this do? Because their attendance is already a problem. Like, so what will this do for attendance? Because I'm like, well, are people just going to go, well, I'm not even going to go back until all this new stuff is opened,
Well, it's attendance is down, but they're relentless on raising prices. Like at what point?
Yeah.
At what point?
Consistently,
Yeah. And like at what point do you say, hey, maybe we should back this off a little bit?
Yeah.
Well, that's like I had to laugh at their rationale. It was like, oh, I don't remember exactly what they said, but it basically, they made it seem like it was too expensive for people, but like it was somebody else's fault. like they were like, oh, it's inflation. Well, you raised the prices. Like, what do you mean inflation? Like, what are you talking? It just didn't make any sense. Like, I was like, that doesn't even.
But it looks good on you, though.
Hey. I mean, it's inflated because you raised the prices to ridiculous levels.
But logically, if you could only afford one family trip in 2025, would you go to Universal or are you going to Disney? Because
I would obviously go to Universal.
Exactly.
Now,
2026, is there enough new happening at Disney that you're going to go there? Or maybe if you couldn't go anywhere in 2025, you're still going to go to Universal. I don't know.
It also depends on how old your family is, too.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real here.
Yeah.
Well, no, because don't they have that new like
have
Nintendo Land or something
They
there,
have
or is that
yeah.
is that
Yeah.
only
They're
in?
gonna have a How to
No,
Train
that's
Your
only in
Dragon.
California.
That's
land.
only in
How to Train Your
California, I
Drag-
think. Yeah.
How to
No.
Train Your Dragon Land is gonna have
No,
It's gonna be
free
new
family
park.
friendly attractions.
Yeah.
That's in
in Epic
Orlando.
Universe.
I mean,
Yeah,
we
in
will
Epic
see.
Universe.
We will see. I think it remains to be seen a little
And they have
bit.
the Donkey Kong roller coaster. The
I mean, the stuff looks cool,
Mario
but
Kart ride.
again, I think if you have kids that are like under 8, 10, 8, I mean, you're probably still going to Disney. But if you got teenagers now,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know, John. I don't think so. I think if
Wait a
you're
minute. Did you just flip on this? Because like before, you were like, nobody's going to Universal. I'm going to Disney over Universal. Nobody's going to Universal.
no. I'm not. But I will next year. I'm definitely going to Universal, and I'm going to buy annual passes for Universal again next year.
Why wouldn't you?
I may. I've actually considered, although I likely won't. But I've actually considered not renewing my Disney passes for next year and spending that year going to Universal. I probably won't because I don't really have to choose between the two of them. So, but if I did, I think I would pick Universal for next year.
Would you think you would alternate?
Sorry.
You think you would alternate, like do Universal one year and then the next year do Disney?
I mean, here's why probably not. Like, because my
alternating.
kids,
he's going.
Your kids
both
are
ways.
older.
no, my
I
kids.
meant if
my
you had
kids
to
wanna-
choose one or the other.
Oh, if I had to choose one or the other, yeah, that's probably actually exactly what I would do, Jimmy. Would be alternate.
Yeah.
I would probably go. To be honest with you, the biggest reason why I will probably keep my Disney annual passes is just because you kind of never know if they might do away with them again, and I don't want to get stuck without them.
Right. I got caught into that zone. I couldn't buy
so,
one for a while because I let it.
I mean, like I said, I'm fortunate in that I don't have to choose. So,
Right.
I will do both probably. Now, will I keep the Universal passes beyond next year?
It's probably
probably
depends
not.
on your satisfaction.
The way they're
I don't know.
building Universal and all the new rides, they're building at a tremendously fast pace, whereas Disney is taking its time with stuff. I think that's like Disney's got to watch out for Universal in that aspect. Because I mean,
it's hard to compete when you're
4 years ago on Epic Universe, 4 or 5 years ago,
and I don't even think it was that long ago, was it?
and it's
crazy.
taking Disney. It took Disney 5 years to build Moana.
I mean, that you're being generous. It actually took longer than that.
Yeah, like
Like
6
the
years.
Journey of Water.
Yeah.
Yeah, the plumbing exhibit.
Brought to you by Roto Rooter.
Exactly.
I mean, it's
Missing
nice.
out on
It is
there.
nice, like a little cute attraction, but
I mean, it's
It's
Yeah.
weird.
kind of strange. It really is. I mean, we don't have to go. So what else? I'm personally upset that Imagination. It's like Epcot got no love.
yeah, I was gonna say
Imagination.
Well, they just did Epcot. Like they just completed. They
they?
just told you like a month ago that the
What did they do?
reimagination of Epcot is complete.
What did they
finger
do?
quotes.
I mean, really? I mean, they messed up the front of the park and rebuilt it, and basically built a event center where they already had a building that they could have just shelled out and made it into an event center.
And center looks like a
and kept
hotel lounge.
symmetry to the park. But hey, I mean, there's some nice stuff there, but like attraction wise, they really didn't get any love.
I mean, they got Guardians and it's got Ratatouille.
But
I would say Guardians on its own is better than any attraction.
Okay,
at Universal.
so agreed. Love Guardians.
Agree
Okay,
with that.
love the ride. Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, if you think about it, okay, so Test Track's now going down. Okay, well, good. Okay, so that's a start. But then on top of that, Imagination.
I'm just surprised because
Uh,
merchandise for Imagination is just through the roof.
that's
I mean,
it's a
people
cash
are
cow
waiting
for the-
6 hours to like take a picture of Figment,
right.
or 6 hours to
Why-
buy a popcorn
not?
bucket.
Why not build
And
a
then-
ride
Mascot
around
and
of
they
the
it?
whole
walk-
land, and they have an attraction that's been there for like 20 years. and they haven't done anything. And
What are you saying, Jimmy?
the best thing about that ride,
Yeah.
well, there's no best thing about that ride, but like the skunk smell, like get that out of here.
Yeah.
It's interesting they don't invest some money in that.
I mean, that one is just mystifying to me because that ride is awful.
It's so
like
bad.
it's just really bad. Like it's
Yeah.
just it's embarrassingly bad.
But
Like
it's like if you have a mascot of a park, don't you think it
and that's
deserves
his
a better ride?
attraction?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They clearly understand the value of the character
Yes,
because they're
yeah.
pimping him out every chance they get.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you know, he's like the hooker of Epcot. Like he's constantly out on the street, like, hey, you got $25? Like, I'll show you a good time. You know, like they love him. But this is what he gets for a ride.
I mean, that's probably the best. That could be the show title right there. I mean, but I mean, there is some legitimacy to that too. They just kind of pimp him out. Like anytime they need
Pins and shirts and hats, and he was the mascot for the Flower and Garden Fest. Like he's everywhere.
He's
popcorn buckets. He was on both popcorn buckets twice.
Between him and the Orange Bird. I mean, that's
it's
fake
Figment
the merchandise.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So same sort of idea.
People go crazy for Figment.
I mean, but so yeah, really, you've got that. But Bud pointed out too the play pavilion, the Wonders of Life pavilion, nothing.
That's been vacant for how many years?
Exactly. And you've got imagination. You've got really kind of the seas is kind of.
It's just everything is looking very worn,
right?
Old, decrepit.
Yeah.
I mean Guardians is great. Yeah. But
even the land, I mean, which I still love the land ride and everything.
Yeah, but being on it last week, it was like I noticed like the pipes in the greenhouse. It was like, ooh, those are all like really rusted.
Didn't they just like revamp part of it too?
I don't know, but I was like, man, this stuff is looking old.
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they put new carpet in the theater on the walls.
What theater?
And the Wonders of Life, or not Wonders of Life, the land pavilion, the theater.
That's a little 10-minute movie thing.
Now I know what you mean. I haven't been in there. I'm not sure I've ever been in there.
Yeah, they put new carpet on the walls.
Adventurous World or whatever it's called. Yeah.
I mean, so to me, that honestly, the most disappointing thing of all this was just, I mean, there was a lot of cool stuff that's announced. If it all happens, and I think if the money is put behind it and they do it to the degree that they should do it, this is pretty exciting. Okay,
I mean, those are all big ifs. That's what worries me. Because the recent history tells us not to get our hopes up.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
if you look at all the stuff that was announced when they first announced the Epcot redo and what we actually got.
Yeah, it was very.
Yeah,
it was very happy.
Yeah,
I mean, like that.
I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean,
I think we
did go through a pandemic, a global pandemic. They lost a ton of money because of that. So I think a lot of those things in the Epcot revamp fell because of that.
Well, I think it's also looking towards the next quarter too. And sure. I think there's been a lot of that. And I think at this point, I feel like though, based on the way they phrased things and the way Josh said stuff, it felt like almost they were getting it. Like that, okay, the fans are a little bit fed up right now. We're tired of being promised stuff.
They made a lot of Yeti jokes.
Yeah. A lot of,
but they haven't fixed it yet. They'd still fix that.
I know they make the jokes, but then it's like
I don't think
it's like when they gut like a legendary attraction and destroy it, and then they sell T-shirts.
Yeah, I don't think
you're like. You
don't think
I don't think they can fix
it. I think it's built into the structure. They would have to tear the whole
I think they would have.
Yeah, that's the word on the street. It will never be fixed.
Yeah,
that's insane that they didn't think that it was ever going to be a problem, that they had no way to repair it once it was.
They do seem to miss some very obvious engineering challenges, like the non-waterproof lights they used on the ground in Epcot.
Oh yeah, that are half out right now. So, which is crazy already, but no, I mean, I felt, at least from the tone of it, when they absolutely made sure to say that these are things that shovels are in the ground, dirt's already being moved. We're moving forward on these kind of things that, look, this isn't blue sky. I felt like they heard the audience. Now, again, did they really? Or is that something they're just saying to, push up, shareholder and stock price and who knows? I felt, though, I kind of felt in my heart like, yeah, they're actually going to push forward and get some of this stuff done. So, I mean, we'll see.
I think they have to. I don't really think they have a choice with competition.
Yeah,
I agree.
Time will tell.
And they got to do it
Time will tell.
in timely fashion. They can't drag this stuff out.
Yeah, I think they got to move it because, I mean, in all seriousness, Universal has certainly upped their game.
By the time the Villains Land is out, they might make a fifth, another theme park. Theme park land, Universal. Like you don't know, like
Universal, you mean? Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah,
Universal actually has they're going full steam. So
yeah, I mean, Disney World needs a fifth theme park like that. They really do.
Everybody's like, never happening.
It won't, but they need it. I mean, they really do need one. It's too busy. It's just too crowded, and all this like tinkering around the edges. It hasn't made a difference. The lines have gotten worse over the years that they've been doing this stuff and not better. So like, they need a fifth park.
Amanda says, so basically the stuff will be ready in time for the LA Summer Olympics.
I just hope I live long enough to see it.
Yeah. I mean, the rumor a couple of years ago was that the Villains Land was going to be the fifth gate.
Yes.
It was going to be a Villains theme park.
It was going to be a whole.
Yeah.
Well, that and the what was the other one? Extinct Attractions theme park that they were going to bring back.
That's
bring back Alien Encounter.
That's like pure fanboy. That's pure
Is there
fanboy.
ever a time that Florida will be able to have Marvel attractions? Like, is there like a expiry date on when that rule ends? No,
I don't believe so. No, because they actually didn't buy whatever component of Marvel they needed to buy to get those characters.
But then, how did they have Guardians?
Because it's Universal only has specific, like the Avengers.
Universal bought like very specific.
I saw that their rights, Universal's rights to certain things were coming up soon, and that there is a possibility that they may or may not renew them.
I just bring that up because maybe that could be a fifth park, a Marvel park or something. I don't know.
That was a rumor for a while that they would do a Marvel park. I hope not, because
here's a novel idea.
Avengers Campus is pretty amazing in California.
Yeah,
Avengers Land. Yeah, we're out of time. Like seriously.
Oh,
we'll have to have a part.
And we didn't even get to Disneyland. We're gonna have to do a part 2.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Yeah,
have to do
and
it.
The cruise ships.
And the cruise ship.
Yeah, we gotta do a part 2.
What about Fortnite, people?
And Fortnite.
What about Fortnite?
John's downloaded it. He's ready to go.
John's got it in. What's your gamer tag, John? I'll have to
you got the villain skin.
I'll hunt you down.
Yeah, the gamer tag.
That level best.
MCP.
MCP at John MCP.
John MCP. There you go. Have to do something. Any other comments? Anybody have anything to throw in here before we head on out the door? We're over time.
Oh, good.
This is ICOT overtime.
Announcements will look cool if they get completed in a timely fashion. That's all I'll say. Announcements are cool.
Yeah.
Villains Land, Cars Land, the Monsters Land.
And if they execute it properly.
Yes, exactly.
But like the other thing too is like we were just talking about it. Like if they do all this, but then they just let it crumble and go to, pieces, and they don't fix the stuff that needs to be fixed. Like, what are they going to have? Like half the park's falling apart and half of it's brand new. Like, I mean, I hope some of that $65 billion that
back in the
Iger keeps talking about was dedicated to cleaning things.
I agree. I would love to see just some doubling down on making the parks clean and fixing stuff and I mean, because that makes a difference. It really does, and I think that's one thing that Disney has always been known for is kind of that sort of cleanliness factor and being the safe place and stuff like that. And I think they need to sort of bring a little bit of that back.
Yeah, some of the crowd fights I've been seeing. Been seeing some crazy videos,
Let me tell
World
you,
Star content.
News that
So that's a reason to raise prices, I think.
Anyway, all right, let's do this and start rolling the show credits.
Roll the show credits.
Anyway, thanks for hanging with us for the last hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes. Reminder again, new Intercot website, the discussion boards and such on intercot.com are now open. And by the way, they only work if you go there and post and interact and say hello. I've noticed Jen's been there over the last few days posting away. Give it a shot. We were thinking that this might be a cool place to bring back, given this current state of social media and the way things are and the way social media is so ugly nowadays. And the good old days of the boards where, you could count on your neighbor, count on your friend. You could get picked up when times were down. You could share a cool thought or share, your latest Disney vacation. We'd like to bring that back again, but it only works if you go there. So head on over to intercot.com and click on the discussion tab. And we hope to see you there. We're going to keep posting news, information. And now that the site can be updated, life is good. Bud says, still have to get my password reset mail. Yeah, by the way, every password was reset. There is no way to transfer encrypted passwords from one system to another. Just can't do it. That's why that happened. But anyway, yeah, head on over to intercot.com. Share our stuff too. That's another big thing. And subscribe, download, do all that stuff. Support us and support our sponsor, Magical Journeys, who has been with us for the 27 years we've been online. Thank you tonight to Disney nerd Jimmy for hanging with us. We let him get a couple words in edgewise. Not too many. Thanks to Ian, Andrew, and Jen. I am still John. This is the Intercot Insider Podcast, one of the longest running Disney podcasts on the internet. Stay with us and check out Jimmy's stuff too. We got a great crew over there who we know and love as well. Always good hanging out with them. So until next time, have a good one, guys. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Yeah.